Hello and welcome back to another video, and today I'm starting off my RIMS Racing career mode. Now if you haven't seen my previous video, I did a first impressions on RIMS Racing, so if you're interested of my first thoughts, I do recommend you go check that one out. And before I do start this career mode, I just want to say thank you again to Dead Good Media for providing me a code for this game. I really do appreciate it. Now without any further ado, let's get this career mode started. From the little I've seen of it before, it looks like it's going to be really good, so I'm really looking forward to this. So here we are in the headquarters then, and I'm going to have to go through a little tutorial where it just shows me where everything is and how to get to everything. So if anything relevant or interesting comes up, I'll leave it in, I'll make sure to include it, but if not, I'll join you after this little tutorial's finished. So then, first thing we actually have to do is pick a bike, so I'm definitely going to leave this in, because obviously that's quite important. So obviously we've got the selection of all the different bikes from the previous video, all 8 of them. So the Aprilia, the BMW, the Ducati, the Honda, the Kawasaki, the MV Agusta, the Suzuki, or the Yamaha. Now, it'd probably be quite easy for me to go for the Yamaha again, because I just always tend to pick Yamaha, but I think honestly, the M1000RR, it's a really nice looking bike, and obviously it's a brand new bike, it's 2021, so I kind of want to go for that, so I think I'm going to go with the BMW. So I was just going through customizing my rider because that's the next step. And I've got into the helmets. There's so many good ones actually in here. There's like a lot of race replicas. I noticed that there's a Stoner one here. I saw a Rossi one a bit further up as well. Yeah, see there's a Valentino Rossi one. I'm sure there was an Aleix Spargaro one as well. Yep, there's an Aleix one. There's a Fabio Quartararo one a bit further up as well. Yeah, here we are, the Fabio Quartararo one. So it's quite a good choice, to be honest. There's a lot of good helmets to pick from, and they all look really nice as well. There's a Isaac Viñales one, by the looks of it. Pirro. You definitely don't see Pirro helmets too often in games. That's nice to see. That's such a good selection. This one's well, it's just a generic, but it looks a little bit like a Johnny Ray helmet, a little bit. They are quite expensive. Obviously, you have to buy each item, but yeah, they look pretty cool. I think I'm going to go with this Fabio Quartararo one. I really like the look of this one. I believe this is the 2019 helmet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's a 2020, I think it is the 2019, so I'm going to get that one. So that should be the rider customized now. So then, now we're looking at the different events. So there's 70 events in the game. Kind of seems like it's a little bit similar to how sort of the Ride and Forza games play. You just sort of do events through a season rather than like having specific race calendars like you'd get with an official sort of GP or Superbike game or something like that. It just seems like you get events to go through. So there's 70 events, so it'll take me a while to get through that. I know that because it always takes me a long time to do a career mode. So the first one's actually a tutorial. Learn the basics of riding, how to check the motorbike status, and how to perform a pit stop. So I think this first one should be quite easy, and then we can probably hop on to sort of the next event there. I don't know how many events we're going to actually do in this episode. Seems like the first 3 are all at Zolder, so potentially I'll do 3 in this episode. Seems like there's actually a couple of events on some of these actually, so maybe I won't actually do 3 of them. Oh no, I think I understand. I just sort of get to pick, so it's not like I do all 3, I just get to pick which one I want, so that's quite cool. And there seems to be this choice of 7 here, so that's quite interesting. So there's actually a bit of choice as you go through. You don't actually just do all the events in order. It's not just one of those sort of stock games. You actually get to pick which event you want to do. Like, you just get the choice of here's 3, you do one of them, and that's it. So that actually seems quite cool. But yeah, we'll get into the tutorial first. I imagine it's probably the same tutorial that was in the demo, so I probably won't show much of this. So then, here we are at Zolder. I'm going to have to try and learn all the braking zones for this track again, and also, I think this is the first time I'm actually riding the BMW in this game, so I'll have to sort of get used to that bike. So the first thing I've got to do is activate the motorbike status check, perform a pit stop, and then set a time in less than 7 minutes. So I should be able to do that. I think we should fairly easily achieve all of that. So here we go then. Lights are on, waiting for the lights to go out. Alright, so if I press... Well, it's supposed to be down on the D-pad, I think, to do that. The test, so I'm not really sure why it's not working. So you can actually check the status of each component on track, which is a little bit of a strange feature, to be honest, because I don't know why you'd ever do that. Like, you just check after the race, surely. I mean, it's nice to have the option if you wanted to do that, but I know for me, I definitely won't be doing this on track. So you don't actually have all the information by default. You actually have to unlock some of it as well, so that's interesting. I've also just noticed that I have it on Imperial. I think it must have been on that by default. So it actually is giving me the temperature in Fahrenheit. So I have no idea what 192 degrees Fahrenheit is in, real degrees Celsius or centigrade, whatever you want to call it. So we have a 192 degrees Fahrenheit rear tyre, but I have no idea what that means, so oh well. So I'll swap back to my normal control scheme now because I had to change it so I could actually access that motorbike control thing. I've just cut the corner, ignore that. No penalty, that's nice. So I'll just finish off this lap and then that should be under 7 minute threshold, obviously, because we're not going super slow. Although I actually can't hit the braking zones at this track to save my life. It actually does feel like I'm back on the demo again where I just couldn't get my braking zones for Zolder right at all. I guess it's because it's just a track that I've never played in any game at all, whereas majority of the others I have. So like Paul Ricard, for example, obviously that's in the Formula 1 games, so I have a rough idea of that. But it's absolutely going terribly so far. So it's actually making me do the pit stop now. Oh, in fact, I can't actually carry on. Look, the track was blocked off. So yeah, I guess we're just going to get the other ones. You could actually change the tyres when you go into the pits, which is a little bit weird. Like, you would not change from like a Pirelli to a Metzeler, like midway through a race, surely. On the Metzeler's a rain tyre, so the dry tyre is the Pirelli Diablo Superbike, and you got two OEM BMW tyres, and you got a Metzeler. Interesting. So I could, for the lols, go out on a Metzeler rain tyre, but I think I'm going to go on a Pirelli because why not? It's also told me to change the pressure, so I'll turn it down to 2 bar exactly, so it's changed slightly, and I'll put 0.1 of a gallon back into the bike of fuel, so that should be the pit stop complete. Oh, hang on, so I actually have to control the people and stuff. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Alright, turn the left stick around. This is really cool, actually. I like that. Oh, I have to hold it. Yeah, okay, I forget. What's the next control I'm going to have to do? Left stick and X. This is actually really cool. Like, I come in for a pit stop and I've got to actually sort of do actions to make my mechanics actually do the work. Which is, that's just nice. That's just a nice little feature. Like, they didn't need to put that in, but it's great. It's great that it is in the game. It improves the game. Okay, this time apparently I've got to actually go and do the time. So it'll be interesting to see. We should still be under 7 minutes, right? I'm on 2 minutes, so as long as I finish the rest of the lap in 5 minutes. Should be better because we've actually got a set of Pirellis on now as well, rather than a BMW tyre. Which honestly I didn't even know was a thing. Like, I didn't even realise OEM actually sent the bikes out with their own tyres, and I just kind of thought they had a deal with each manufacturer or whatever. I feel like that might be the case. I feel like, you don't get a BMW tyre. Let me know though. So I feel like if you got a Honda, if you ever bought a Honda, I feel like that would come with Bridgestones on. If you actually bought it straight from the factory, like, I feel like that would come with a set of Bridgestones. But like, not a Honda, so I'm not 100% sure on that. Watching through the chicane, because I had a little bit of a flashback to the demo through that chicane. We're currently 6/10 quicker than the previous lap through that sector, which is great. Jochen Rindt curve. Actually, will this be open for me now? Because this was blocked before. It is now open, but I've just gone into the pit lane again anyway. Right, the pit lane's now blocked. Okay, right, so let's just do a bit of lawn mowing. Yeah, that didn't happen. Up towards the line. Okay, so I actually have to do the proper lap this time, I guess. I've gone way too hot into the first corner. So towards the line then, this should be easily sub 7 minutes, 1 minute 37. Oh, actually the session time was 7 minutes. Oh, it was the whole session time, so the session time was actually longer. So that's actually, we've actually failed that first, or that third part, because it was 7 minutes 21, so. Okay, that would make more sense. Don't know where I'd find 21 seconds though. I guess it would be in the pit stop. So we gained 4,000 credits and 2 team points. And we got plus 800 on the rider level. So we're now almost level 2. It's 800 of 1000. So now I'm being given like more of a tutorial. I've got to go to the workshop apparently, so I'm guessing I've got to, doing something to the bike now. So they've bought some new front pads that we've got to put on. So this is something that I tried out quickly before recording the last video, just to see, like, I just went into career mode to see what it'd be like, and I came across this feature, and this is really cool. So when you actually change a part on the bike, you actually have to do actions to disassemble it, similar to what you have to do in the pit lane. It's fantastic. So unscrew the bolts, and then you do that properly. There we go. Now remove the calipers from the disc, loosen the pads. Then you got to remove the pads, and then now we've got to change them, and then we've put them back on. It's just such a unique feature. Like, there is some very unique parts of this game that are just like the really cool little nice features. It really does make it stand out from other bike games, you know, like Ride, for example, because like Ride doesn't have anything like this. This really does make it stand out. So we're putting on some new pads. We're getting rid of the OEM BMW ones. We're putting on some new front TT Pro pads, apparently. So again, we're going to have to follow some steps to put them back on. Twist, turn the set the right way. I just did it the same as before, assuming that, you know, it would be the same. But obviously, because you're screwing it this time rather than unscrewing it, it's obviously you have to do it the opposite direction. But that's the pads change then. So basically, if the bike parts get worn out, we're going to actually have to buy some new ones and put some new ones on. So that might be something I actually have to manage throughout the career rather than just turning up to the events. I'm going to have to manage the different parts. So we're in the inventory now, and it's making me sell those old BMW pads that we just took off. So you can actually sell parts as well, so that definitely helps. Although only 285 credits, it's not a lot. Although these would only be worth 221, so it seems to me like the BMW brake pads are probably better because they're worth more money. So we've actually completed the tutorial now, so we won't get any more interruptions, which is nice, because that does always ruin the flow a little bit when you get all those interruptions. But from now it should be a bit smoother. There shouldn't be so many abrupt cuts, hopefully. So I got told the tutorial was over, but I'm guessing they're still going to tell us whenever something new comes up, so there could still be some more interruptions for now. So yeah, it basically seems like I just get to pick whichever one I want to do. So there's a brand event sponsored race. These races are aimed at the most promising riders, rewarding them with components of the brand chosen for the event. So it's a Brembo, so I guess we'll get new brakes, but I mean, we've just changed the pads, so I mean, I don't really want to do that. Then we've got a 1v1, riders challenging each other in short 1v1 races, usually on a road. Okay, this could be quite bad for me, because I'm usually pretty bad at road courses. And then we've got have a rest. Oh, that one's that one's quite easy, that one. But no, I will actually do one of the events. I'm not sure which one to do yet, though. I mean, there's Zolder again. I don't really want to do Zolder again, but it's worth more money than doing the 1v1. And obviously, as well, at the same time, I'm going to be absolutely terrible at a road course, but then there's 7 laps of Zolder. This is tricky. I kind of want to give the Atlantic Road a go, but I feel like I'm just going to be clattering to walls all over the place. So I think the Zolder probably is the best option. Oh, it's wet this time. Okay, that's interesting. Well, currently I'm on a set of slicks. Might want to change that. Well, it looks like a slick anyway, and it's definitely raining. Perhaps we go on to the Metzler wet tyres, otherwise we might be a bit in trouble. So if you thought I was having trouble getting it stopped in the dry, well, the wet is going to be a lot worse. So I'm definitely going to have to try and follow the AI and brake where they brake. Although last I checked, they could brake very late. So yeah, this is going to be a tough first race to be thrown into, I think. So lights are on then, waiting for the lights to go out here at Zolder. Lights on, away we go. Oh, okay, well I've took someone out because they just braked in front of me. I have no idea why they did that. AI have absolutely dived it into the first corner. I've got back underneath all the ones that passed me. Oh, we're having a really good run so far. Up into 5th place. Someone's left the door open a bit. There we go. Up into 4th. Might have to pick off some more. 3rd, probably 2nd if I get on the power early enough. Yeah, up to 2nd, although he's going back around the outside, although the one in 3rd I think just crashed into him. So now we are up into 2nd place. It makes me wonder, are these guys on dry tyres? I'm not sure actually. I suppose if you're on a set of OEM tyres, it would work in these conditions, but we've just taken the lead. So it definitely seems like The AI are either on a low difficulty or on the wrong tyres, and I didn't see an option to pick the AI difficulty for career, so I'm not sure where that would be. But so far I'm winning the race, which I didn't expect. A lot more grip in the wet than I expected, to be honest. So a very unexpected race overall, because loads of grip in the wet and a decent amount of pace too. Okay, well I messed up the chicane again, so I'll go nice and slow. Actually, I have to go slow across this, it's not letting me go faster. So we've just relinquished the lead. So we're going to have to go hunt him back down again. But yeah, I missed my braking zone for that chicane because it's so tight, it's just so easy to do. Oh no, we've had a big crash on the curb. That's not ideal, we're going to definitely have some damage. But the one thing I am thinking is a positive is the fact I've got lots of laps to try and make that back up. We've got 7 laps, and we caught him so quickly. I think we should be able to win this race, even with that crash. But yeah, another crash on the curb, so yes, definitely stay away from the curbs. Here we go, then we got a good run. Should be able to pass this guy. We're only a second off what I've done on the last lap, and I've been on the floor. No idea how that's even possible. I'm stuck on his outside. Yeah, well, I couldn't turn in because he just didn't want to. Yeah, no penalty. That seems fair because I had nowhere to go because the AI wasn't turning. So we've overtaken him now. We'll brake nice and early again for this. There we go, past that guy on the Aprilia. So we're now up into 6th place. So I can see all the way up to 2nd, but the one in the lead is actually getting away. These guys do seem like they're on wet tyres, actually, so I'm not sure what it is. I had to go on the grass then. I got a penalty for that. No, oh wait, no, it was just telling me I was half a second off my previous lap. I thought it was giving me a half a second penalty then. I was thinking, hang on. I had to ride on the grass because someone, like, brake checked me. Here we go through the last chicane. We should be able to pick off a few positions here. Oh, the bike is spinning. It's got no traction. Oh no, it's stuck on the limiter. I couldn't get it off the limiter, so that was disappointing because that was definitely an opportunity to gain some places. Although we are going to gain some now. I had to let off the gas to get off the limiter, so that's worth noting. If I hit the limiter at any point, I just got to release the gas before I shift. So up to 3rd. We should be back up to 2nd in a minute. Inside this left-hander. There we go, up into 2nd place. So now, I've got about 4 laps to go hunt down the leader. Which, he's 4 seconds up the road, so I've got to take about a second lap out of him. Oh, okay, we've just been absolutely dived by the AI. Again, that's put me in a bit of an awkward position. Okay, this time I actually did let off the power, it just isn't working. Okay, so I'm going to get back past the AI here again. I kind of need to get away from them so they don't just dive me. So we're back up into 2nd place. But this has actually been a really fun race so far. I was expecting to really struggle in the rain, but it's been a lot of fun. I've crashed again. Well, I don't know what happened there, but I got put on the floor. So I'm guessing the win is off the cards here now. I sort of went through that turn, the bike just crashed. I think I'm now on the wrong tyres. I think that might be the issue. Because it seems to have dried up. So there we go then. Oh no, I've had the same crash again. And oh damn, I've taken somebody else with me. So it seems like the rear tyre, yeah, the tyres are definitely not the right anymore then. So I think that's the issue. Well, we're definitely not having the best start to our career. It was such a promising lap 1 as well. That's the problem. But then ever since, I'm really struggling. So the tyre was actually completely gone. So I've just pitted and put on a set of the OEM tyres. So that was definitely my mistake, but that's lesson learned, I suppose. Like it didn't even come into my head, like at the start of the race when I was picking the tyres, that it was more wet track than actually raining. So I didn't think, obviously, that the track would dry out to such an extent where the tyre would be destroyed. I will add that there's still clearly a wet line, so really, it shouldn't have shredded like it did so quickly, I don't think. But either way, it now makes sense, and you can see that now I'm on a set of tyres that actually are suitable for the conditions. I'm a lot quicker than the AI again. I did look at trying to restart the race so that I could pick the right tyres this time, but you can only do that if you're playing on novice difficulty, so I know I'm definitely not playing on novice at least. But I think this is definitely an important lesson about the tyres in this game. Someone's crashed around the outside of them. We have been lapped, by the way, that's how I've caught up to these guys. So this should actually be the last lap for me. I'm on lap 6 or 7, but oh, I've misjudged that. I've completely punted him off. And I've punted him again. Well, we've managed to actually stay aboard, so that's lucky for me. But Jordan Redmond then's won on the MV Augusta up towards the line. I'm going to finish 10th place. Not a great first race. Oh wait, no, I've got to actually do the next lap. Okay, that's well, that does make me glad that I did pit now, at least. So up towards the line then, 10th out of 10. Yeah, not an ideal way to start the career. A minute and 44 behind. Oh no. I actually got 800 credits though, apparently, and I got a set of Brembos. And I got 3,500 rider level. So I didn't actually have to win to get the reward, it seems. Oh, I should have just read the description. These races are aimed at promising riders, rewarding them with components of the brand chosen for the event. The better your final standing, the better your reward. So you get anything regardless, but if I'd actually won, I would have got that T-Drive, which is for the F4RC anyway, so... which I don't have, so I guess it didn't even matter, that first race. But this second one here, the one where you get to choose the event, so I just get to pick whatever bike I want, but it's rented to me, so I don't have to pay the maintenance costs. So I think I might go with the R1. Oh wait, actually it depends. The track actually depends on the bike. So you got Zolder. Well, I'm not doing Zolder again. You got Silverstone, Canadian Tyre, Laguna Seca, Zolder again, Fuji Speedway, got Suzuka, and then also got Zolder. I think I'll go for the Ducati just for Silverstone because obviously I know that track the best. There's actually qualifying as well, so this one is going to probably take a bit longer. So Ducati competition, race 1 of 4. Each season Ducati holds a sequence of events where the contestants must prove their prowess on a brand new Panigale V4R. Podium finishers are awarded with the motorbike itself. So if I get on the podium, I get a bike. Well, there you go. If I need an incentive, that's most certainly it. And I've got a lot of tyres as well. Oh, look at this. Look at these tyres here. So we've got an SC0 on the front, SC1 on the rear, because I can't put an SC0 on the rear apparently. 2 Pirellis either way. Let's go for it. Hopefully we'll actually have some decent pace. So we actually have to do a qualifying lap first to determine the grid, which could either go really wrong or really well for me. It does give me a chance to get up to speed with this bike around this track though, although I did learn Silverstone earlier on, so, well obviously I knew Silverstone already, but I learned Silverstone on this game earlier, so hopefully that knowledge should carry me through. This probably would be the time to insert a clip of me crashing constantly at Silverstone earlier on. There we go then, through Woodcut. We've closed up to someone. Don't know what this time's going to be. Oh, I crashed! Oh, no way! Oh, I still haven't got to the line yet either! Oh, come on. Well, that's last place, because I crashed coming out of the last corner. Oh no, it's now said first. 1 out of 10. I actually have... I'm guessing maybe it's because I'm the only rider on track or something. No, there's still someone in front of me. That's annoying, because... I'd gone over the finish line, but I guess the start line is the finish line in this game, so... yeah, that's a little bit frustrating, because the lap was actually pretty good up till then. Oh wait, I'm still on pole anyway. I'm 10 seconds clear of the AI. Okay, I think I might be on a different tyre again. Or the difficulty is wrong, one or the other. So, yeah, I guess I'll have to see after this race if I can change the difficulty. Or maybe even before, but... yeah, I think I'm ready to skip to the race now, being 10 seconds clear. With a crash, I think I'm quite happy that they're not going to beat me. Yeah, 9 seconds faster with a crash. Yeah, I think I should be good. So it came up with another qualifying session, so I just skipped it. So I'm starting at the back of the grid. I kind of thought if I'm 9 seconds a lap faster, it's not going to make much of a difference anyway. Oh yeah, you can see the AI are on 60%. That's why they're so slow. Okay, I need to see if I can change this. I actually can't quit because it gives me last place if I try and quit back to the menu. So I'm going to have to just go with this race, get the win, and then turn the difficulty up after, because for some reason it's set to 60%. I'm not really sure why, because it didn't even give me the option to set it, but it's set to 60 apparently. I probably should have noticed that in the last race, to be honest. That's my bad, because it would have been displayed there. So lights on, away we go for the V4R race. Oh no, wait, what's happening? My tyre is red again. Does that mean my tyre's completely gone? Could be. But, I mean, we've got so much pace, I think I could probably make it round. I think I can win. Oh, the front one on that curb, though. I'd say I've got to avoid the curbs, but, I mean, I may as well just go flat out, because if I can pull 10 seconds in a lap, that'll negate any crashes on the curb anyway. Yeah, look at this. That's actually a little bit disappointing. But that's something I do on every game, almost every year. I'll play it. It should give you a prompt to change the difficulty for every career mode. As soon as you go into it, first thing you should see is not a tutorial, it should be what difficulty you want to play. Because it's always hidden away in some setting and it's set to like really low by default. Which is weird. I don't know. But either way, we should probably win this one, which, as far as I'm concerned, like kind of cancels out the last race where it was a little bit unfair because we had the weird crash on the curb, which is what cost me initially, and then obviously there was the whole thing with the tyres being wrong for the conditions, which yes is my fault, but there was a tutorial on everything except, you know, the fact that the track actually dries up very fast and pretty realistically. So like, if you go on a wet track with a wet tyre, it'll be shredded by the second lap. But that could have been in the tutorial, but unfortunately it wasn't. So I'm about to start the final lap. I've crashed on every single lap so far by touching some curb, so it shows I just don't learn my lesson. The worst one is definitely maggots. I keep accidentally turning in too early for maggots and then clipping the sausage curb with my front tyre, and that's why I go down there. I can accept that as being pretty fair. That's the first time I've not done it all race. That is literally the first lap I haven't done it. So this could be the fast lap of the race. You can see it's 6 seconds underneath my previous lap almost. And provided I don't crash anywhere else, it should be good. We're good like 20-30 seconds in front of the AI because even though I crash, I more than pull that back every lap anyway, the crash. So I've just been opening out the gap every single lap by a few seconds. Obviously there is no grip on the tyres left, so I think from now on I'm just going to stick with the stock tyres, because every time I try to go with something different it ends up shredded. Again, I would say in this case that an SC1 would be more than capable of doing 6 laps around Silverstone, especially because in the SC0 is meant to do 10 laps at proper flat out race speed. So the tyres wear a little bit peculiarly, but and I've lost the front that time, so yeah, I couldn't do a lap without crashing, unfortunately. That time though, I'm not really 100% sure what happened. At least every other time I know it's got touched a curb. That time the front seemed to took, probably just because the tyres got no grip left. I have noticed that in the bottom right hand corner it actually tells you your current lean angle. I only noticed that like on about lap 3. But here we come then, up towards the line. We're going to get our first win in RIMS racing, but with very low difficulty AI, just because they were set to low for some reason. So yeah, we've got our first win in career mode, but it feels a little bit flat, to be honest, because I definitely didn't deserve a win after that performance. But we did gain 3,200 credits and a team point, so that is good. I don't know what team points do. I don't know if I accidentally skipped that part of the tutorial or whatever, but I'm not really sure what they actually do. But that's 3 events done now then, so I suppose that's it in terms of doing events for this episode. So apologies, it's been a bit of a weird, scattery episode, but I've kind of got to learn this game. I've got to learn the physics, of course. I've got to learn a fair few things about it, obviously the tyres being a main thing that I've got to learn as well. But that's the first 3 events out the way. I am going to see if I can change the AI difficulty. So I've just stumbled onto what the team points are for. Apparently we can hire managers, and they give us like special perks, so it might make it so that if we sell an item we get more money, or it might make things cheaper, or we get more money from races, for example. That's the kind of gist I just got from that. So the capacity in the inventory can be increased as well. So I guess we have to hire a manager first. That's going to cost 2,000 credits, which should be fine because we've got 20,000, so I think I will do that. There we go, we actually have one now, and then we can probably use our team points to purchase each of these. So credits earned by selling goes up by 10%, I'll take that. Special offers in the shop, we'll do that as well. And then inventory capacity increased, so that's 3 of those now, but they're all going to cost 2 from now on, then I guess it's 3, 4. So I can't imagine it'll take very long to fill this tree, because there's no wait time or anything, so yeah, if you want to go for a certain area, like I might probably go for like inventory and for the special offers first. It's not going to take too long to get through, I don't think, because it seems like you get team points fairly regularly. But I need to try and find this area where I can change the AI difficulty. So I've actually just found the career setting, and it's already set to the hardest difficulty. It says career difficulty pro. You can't restart calendar events. Quitting a calendar event results in a retirement, ranked D. The performance of the opponents is at maximum. The game difficulty can be changed in general settings at any time. So that was the max. So I'm going to assume that the AI probably just get more difficult as it goes on, because it was already on pro. So I actually can't change it. Like, max obviously isn't 60%, so I don't know whether there's been a bug in that race, but it's nothing I've actually done, so I kind of don't feel as bad now about that race win, because it's not a mistake from me to set the AI wrong. It's just they were already on pro, but they were set to 60% for some reason. So hopefully for the next episode there won't be any bugs or anything like that, but yeah, a strange first episode. And I did actually find another area where the team points are used in research, so to get more information about that MSC thing, you can hire researchers. And obviously, since I said I wasn't going to really use it, I guess I'll probably focus on what's going to save me credits. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that one. A very weird start to our RIMS racing career. Obviously, we did the tutorial first in the first race where it was wet. I went onto the wet tyres. They got shredded after a couple laps because the track dried, so ended up in last place. And then basically the complete opposite back in Silverstone, where obviously, again, the tyres were pretty shredded, but absolute domination because the AI could do nothing. Even with the ability set on Pro, they were only 60%. So, yeah, not too sure about that. I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, because obviously we won't ever lose a race in career again as long as I don't pick wet tyres when the track dries out. So yeah, a little bit weird, but I hope you guys have enjoyed that one regardless. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.